In this episode of Getting Geeky with Game Relief, I'm going to sit down with Steve Hampson to find out all about his tabletop games Kickstarter report for 2019. Then we'll see what's on Kickstarter, but first, a message about our sponsor. This episode is proudly powered by one of our proud Kickstarter backers from our Season 3 Kickstarter campaign. Thanks be to the great Dustin from Board Gaming with Education. We salute you. They're currently running a Kickstarter for their World's XP gamified learning experience, which will be on Kickstarter through Friday the 20th of December. More to be said during our Kickstarter Corner portion of the show. P.S. You don't want to miss it, as I'm pretty sure there's a giveaway. But that's all I'm going to say, until after the interview.
Getting Geeky with Gamer Leaf, the podcast in which one man strives to level up his geekhood and helping you do the same, one battle at a time. Now, let's get geeky with Gamer Leaf.
Welcome to Getting Geeky with Game Relief. If you followed us from the beginning or you just recently found us, we're glad you're here, and you probably know that we follow along and we show you about different Kickstarters that are going on in regards to games. Well, what if I told you there was a new report or something that you could go back and see everything that's gone on Kickstarter through 2019? Well, you're just in luck. Today, we're interviewing the creator mastermind behind the Essential Tabletops Games Kickstarter report for 2019. Is that right? Is that how you fall in line with the report, Steve?
Yeah, that's pretty much perfect, Lake.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us on Getting Geeky with Game Relief. We really appreciate it, Steve.
I'm really glad to be here.
Yeah, glad to have you. Now, before we jump into your report and everything that it's about, let's rewind a little bit if we could. How did you get into playing tabletop board games, Steve?
Well, it's something I'm returning to. I was probably 8 or 9 when I first started playing D&D with my brothers. And then we used to also play MERP, the Middle-earth game.
Awesome, the role-playing game?
MERP, yeah.
Awesome, yeah, I love that. I played that in the teenagers.
Oh, it went on forever and ever. It was just like a single battle used to take hours sometimes.
Awesome. Yeah, I remember. The only thing I really remember about it, well, I guess my friends had to remind me about it because it's been like 20 plus years. But I guess one of my weapons, each of us got to go back in time and bring something from our day, well, come back in the future and then bring something back to that world. My friends told me that I had a rubber chicken filled with nitroglycerin. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I remember one of the things they had was you've stumbled on the remains of a fake imaginary tortoise.
Cool.
And I use that line a lot.
Awesome. Yeah, I don't know that since I've been doing this back in May of 2017, I don't recall getting anybody that's played it. So that's awesome that you've actually played MERP.
It was pretty old, and I seem to remember I was quite young at the time, so it was really kind of felt magical.
Awesome. Yeah, I loved it. Me and my friends, when I was a teenager, we'd go in the middle of our, we had a circle where everybody's houses were, and we'd go and sit around a sewer lid, and we'd have to get up if the cars come or whatever, but that's what we did, I remember.
Great stuff.
Awesome. And then you said you left for a while. How did you get back into tabletop board gaming and gaming?
I had a bit of a mental breakdown, and I lost my job, and for a while I'd sort of, was really suffering a lot of depression, not being able to get out of bed and stuff like that, really difficult times. And when I got some counseling, they told me that you need to kind of try and find things that you like, that you feel kind of passionate about, and try and work on those kind of things, because that sort of, brings you back a joy of life or whatever. And so I kind of went back to my childhood, and I looked into tabletop gaming. And one of the first things I did was to get a set and do some painting, because that was my all-time favorite thing of the hobby was figure painting. I love figure painting.
Okay, so figure painting, awesome. So did you have any figures when you were playing Middle Earth, or you just painted them for other games?
I had all the best ones. I mean, anyone from the old days of the sort of middle of the 80s, I used to get all of Games Workshop's limited edition figures, like the wizard with the submachine gun and stuff like that. I had some of the really good sets, like Nick Bibby's Great Spine Dragon. Remember that one?
I don't think so, no. I didn't really get into it before.
So good. I won a painting competition with that when I was a kid.
Awesome. And then so you came back in through miniatures and war games, or what kind of games got you back in?
I'm not really doing much gaming. I'm kind of really interested in the games, but I don't really find the time to play. You know, I'm interested in, the sort of sci-fi and the fantasy. So at the minute, I've been trying to get back into modeling. I've been learning how to do 3D modeling, and in previous Kickstarters, I've done a book that teaches people how to do 3D modeling on the computer, so you can 3D print things out using free software. That's the thing I've mostly got into, but I kind of just keep an eye on what's going on with games and stuff.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. And it looks like you've done quite a few Kickstarters, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think this is the 17th or the 18th now. Yeah, the last 2 years I've just sort of been knocking them out every 2 or 3 months.
Okay, awesome. And I know we're going to talk about yours, but did you happen to see Necromold's Monster Battles? It just recently launched a Kickstarter within the last couple days at the time of this recording. It's like, it looks like you make your own models with clay or something. They have like a device, and then it's like a war game or something.
Ah, okay. No, I haven't noticed that one. It might be like push molds or something, press molds.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. It reminds me of a toy from the 80s or whatnot, but yeah, you almost have like clay, and then you go and there's some kind of device, you mold them or whatnot. It's like a mold or whatnot, and then you play like war games. It's for kids and adults alike, it looks like.
Ah, that sounds good. Sounds good. I'll keep an eye out for it.
Yeah, I'll have to send you a link after. But speaking of Kickstarter or whatnot, word on the street is you recently created a report for us called the Essential Tabletop Games Kickstarter Report for 2019. What exactly is that, Steve?
So the way I've described it is that if you imagine that Kickstarter's discovery page, where you go on and search and you look for a project, if that was like an endless hotel corridor, my report kind of turns it into a shopping mall. What it does is it takes away any of the projects that are not from last year if they're older, because, I mean, if something was 5 years ago and they're not doing anything now, we don't really want to know about it now. So we just got the last year's data. But then what's important is we kind of group similar reports together. So we've got all the dice together, we've got all the dice games together, and we've got all the DM screens together. And when you bring it all together like that, you get a completely different perspective on who's doing what, and it's just a much clearer view. It makes Kickstarter much more like a catalog that you can browse through.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I was looking at it looks like on the Kickstarter page you have some of the dice ones from this last year, like 40, I don't know if it was 40 pages or 40 projects or something thus far that you have in that PDF.
Yeah, that's right. There's 61 projects. And I think it's about 56 different creators have done those. That's just the successful ones. And they range from someone who's got 8 backers to the top one that's got over 9,000 backers. But if you were to go on to Kickstarter and just type in dice and search for dice, you get 1,600 results. But my report's got 61. So I think there's only that 61 that's really relevant to you. So that's more than 90% of what Kickstarter's throwing back on its search results. That's just useless information.
Yeah, for sure. And I want to say, when we were talking earlier, you just decided to do this about a couple weeks back. Am I right?
Yeah, that's right. Do you know what? Sometimes I like to sit on the step in the kitchen and I just kind of like have little ideas of what can I do? What can I do? Because I kind of like doing projects and whatever sort of takes my fancy, I just sort of try and get involved in that. Um, and I've got a background in IT, so I know how to do things like this. I know how to work with data and produce reports and stuff. So I've already got that skill set. And I had the idea of it, and then I almost dismissed it because I thought, well, what's the point of this? Why does anybody want to see projects that have ended anyway? But I started working with the data anyway, started knocking up just a very simple report. And once you see it, you kind of get the point of it. You kind of see how it makes everything look easier. It's like a roadmap to Kickstarter. And once I launched it, and I'm sure you've seen that it's had quite a good response. I think people are actually kind of quite keen on this. I've had some really good comments back saying that, we need something like this.
Oh, that's good to hear. Yeah, and this isn't the first time. It looks like a while back ago you had it on Kickstarter for different pledge levels and whatnot, but then canceled it and relaunched. Can you tell us a little bit about that, Steve?
Yeah. So the first time I launched it, I thought, well, I want to get a bit of money for this because obviously I'm putting my time and effort into it. I want something, some payment for my time. And I launched it at £10 for the PDF, which I don't know what that is, about $15. And I got, I think, about 4 backers. It really wasn't going very well. And anyone who's launched a Kickstarter, you get a couple of good days at the start, a couple of good days at the end, and it's fairly dull in the middle. So what I did basically was cancelled it, and I put it on a pledge level where it's pay what you like. So you can pay as little as £1 or £10, £5, whatever you want to pay to get the report. And I think because it's cheaper for someone to kind of take a risk on it and see what it's like, a lot more people have jumped on board.
Oh, there you go. So you got a bunch more backers than you had before?
Oh, a lot more, yeah.
That's good. Did you notice how many came back from the initial Kickstarter for it?
I think all of them have, yeah. But like I said...
Oh, that's good. I know I jumped back on.
Yeah. I think once people have a look at it, they kind of get the idea of what it's going to do for them, what it's going to show them.
Yeah, I know what it'll do for me. Like, I'll be able to go ahead and see who other creators were, so I can see about maybe if they have upcoming projects for next year, so I can keep having people come on the podcast and do giveaways with the Giveaway Geek and whatnot. But how is it going to help our average gamer, do you think, Steve?
Let's say, for example, you're into 25mm miniatures. You can go type in 25mm miniatures on the Kickstarter search page, and I don't know how many results you're going to get back, but it's probably going to be a lot. And you're probably going to find you've got a lot of things that aren't quite what you want there. Whereas this report, it's had someone actually go on, they've looked at the project, and they've decided what category that should go into. So you can get this nicely sort of cut out set. Here's all the 25mm miniatures this year kind of thing, and you can see them all grouped in one place. And I think in lots of different categories, people are going to find that really, really valuable.
Okay, cool. And will it be a searchable PDF? I've heard they have those for RPGs and stuff.
Well, let me think now. I'm not sure. Yeah, I guess there's a search within the PDF, so you could do searches, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to use some hyperlinks so you can jump to the section you want. And someone also came back with a suggestion of using hyperlinks for the project itself, which is a brilliant idea. So there's no reason why I can't incorporate that into the project. So when you're browsing through it and you think, oh yeah, I want to take a look at that one, it can take you right there to the site.
Okay, awesome. And anybody who ran a Kickstarter in 2019 should show up in it, shouldn't they?
Only successful ones.
Or I guess whoever's had a successful one. Yeah, successful one, sorry.
Even if they've only had one backer, if they're a successful Kickstarter, then they'll be in it. I kind of think if someone cancels it, maybe they cancel it for a reason. And if it failed, they might not want the extra attention. So I figure we just do the successful ones.
Okay, awesome. And Let's see here. So it'd be anybody from 2019 that has a Kickstarter that's successful in it. And it's just a PDF now. I know before you had like books and stuff. It's just going to be PDFs. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. For this one at the moment, we're just going to do the PDF. That's going to be released on the 15th of January because I've got to wait until I've got the complete data set at the end of December. But once I've put that PDF out, I know how many pages it is, I can work out the printing costs. I've already had someone ask about printed copies, and I know I'd like to see a printed copy. So I'll put that up as an option. I'm expecting a paperback to be somewhere around about £15, £20 for a hardback, something like that.
Okay, so maybe something we could order later on down the road if we wanted to.
Yeah, that should be towards the end of January, I would think.
Okay, that's awesome. So that's pretty cool. And so when it comes to the Essential Tabletops Game Kickstarter report for 2019, what makes your project pop as one my audience should go check out? And if they like what they see, back it today, Steve.
Just take a look at the sample report, and that'll convince you whether you want this or not. It's very, very cheap to back. And before I did this, I had a look to see if anyone else was doing something similar. There just doesn't seem to be anything out there.
Okay, awesome. So this will be the first one ever, or I guess first one for 2019 at least.
Yeah, I kind of think so. And then if this is successful, well, I mean, it's already quite successful. I can come back in 2020 and do another one.
Awesome. Yeah, I look forward to it. I really like what I'm seeing here for 2019 from just the dice that you have up there on there.
Yeah, that's great. And I think once you see the whole thing, because the dice accounts for, I don't know, something like 10 pages, I'm expecting this to be about 250 pages. It might even go up to 300. So you've got a whole lot of stuff in there, and things that you might not even know exist. You can have a little flip through and find what's there.
Oh, there you go. Awesome. Now, we don't want to keep you all night. I know you're busy running a Kickstarter, which can be quite daunting itself. So mine is coming to your hometown to stalk you. How can people go about keeping up with you and everything you're doing in the game sphere?
Well, I tend to be around on Kickstarter. If you look me up, my name's Steve Hampson, and I've got various Facebook pages to sort of go with the various projects I've got and web pages. But if you take a look on the Kickstarter in the first place, you'll find links to find me elsewhere.
Awesome, and we'll have links in the show notes. And speaking of keeping up with you, I know right now we're focused on this Kickstarter, but say somebody's listening later on down the road after it's been delivered and everything, is there any secrets of things you're working on in your back pocket that you can maybe share with us?
I've got a lot of things that I'm planning for 2020. First of all, after this report's been quite successful, I'm thinking there's no reason why I shouldn't run it for video games and computer hardware, which is basically the other half of the games category in Kickstarter. So that should be an easy one for me to turn around. And then anyone who's seen any of my Model in Miniatures books, I'm going to work on a revamped version of that, which I kind of think will probably be somewhere like the middle of the year.
Okay, awesome. So it sounds like things never slow down for you. You may not get time to play games if you keep on doing stuff like this.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, like I said, we don't want to keep you all night. You've got to get some sleep, or maybe you did that previously. But either way, we really appreciate you coming on Getting Geeky with Gamer League with us tonight, Steve, to talk all about the Essential Tabletop Games Kickstarter report that'll be on Kickstarter through Saturday, the 30th of November. We really appreciate it, Steve.
I really appreciate it too, Blake. Thank you very much for having me on.
No problem at all.
Now, let's get geeky.
Wow, I didn't know I needed the Essential Tabletops Games Kickstarter report until I sat down for that interview, or until I saw it on Kickstarter. Now I need it even more. If you feel the same way, make sure you back it on Kickstarter before Saturday the 30th of November. Where are we going, Batterina?
Kickstarter Corner!
You're a teacher, you say? You've got kids, you say? You like games? You want them to learn? Well, have we got something for you to help them gamify their learning experience? Yep, it's World XP Gamified Learning Experience. It's a physical gamification kit to increase engagement, develop class culture, and reinforce positive behavior in any learning environment. It's coming to us from one of my favorite gaming podcasts, Board Gaming with Education. Worlds XP is a streamlined, gameful experience for your learning environment to increase engagement, develop class culture, and reinforce those positive behaviors. As the kit master, your adventurers or students will choose the characters, give them their own unique personalities, go on thematic RPG adventures, and earn XP and achievements, all while accomplishing 3 main goals in your learning environment. Find out what those goals are by checking out the Kickstarter page. Worlds XP is versatile. It's used for a variety of learning environments and learner demographics. It has been successfully implemented in learning environments ranging from 3rd grade all the way to high school. It's adaptable. Choose what to implement. You know your learning environment best, so you know what may or may not work for your specific learner. Worlds XP is equipped to put the control into your hands by giving you various opportunities and ways to implement the kit. It's streamlined. Use their quick 6-page guide to get going right away. You can also refer to Worlds XP, a kit master's guide to gameful learning book for a more in-depth approach. Since I know you're going to check out the campaign anyway, you might as well make it worth your while and enter their giveaway over at thegiveawaygeek.com for your chance to win. Plus, make sure you listen to our Worlds XP interview in case you missed it. Plus, Dustin just showed up on We're Not Wizards board gaming podcast as well, and they chatted all about it. Definitely worth a listen. Either way, make sure you back Worlds XP gamified learning experience before December 20th. Tell them GamerLeaf sent you in the comments on their Kickstarter page. On Point, a new game that's heavily anchored in its theme. Choose your tactical move on each turn from the movement cards available to all players. Block other players where you can or advance down the board to take the lead and get to key resource collection points early. Maneuver to take a negative point by accompanying certain stations that allows you to form an alliance, which will unlock access to more points later in the game if you succeed in reaching the key strategic area. Nearby, another location where there is only one high point reward to the first player to reach it. This is when you might use one of your 5 power-up compatibilities to win big points. Steal key resources from your opponents to give you bonus points in the set collection part of the game, and then race to the end, where more points are captured and favors those who get there early. In this highly competitive game of light strategy and set collection, you're racing down the board, avoiding obstacles and outmaneuvering your opponents. But getting to the end doesn't necessarily mean that you'll win. It's all about the points that you collect along the way. If this captures your competitive nature, you'll definitely want to check out On Point, a ballet-themed board game that's looking for allies like you. Yes, it's a ballet board game. Go ahead and try something new. Check it out on Kickstarter and back it if you like it. You want to get your girls into gaming? Well, this is a game for you. I know my girls will love it, so we're going to add it to our collection. Since you're going to, at the very least, check it out on Kickstarter, don't forget to enter our giveaway over at thegiveawaygeek.com. Either way, back On Point before the 12th of December. Tell them GamerLeaf sent you in the comments on their Kickstarter page, and let's keep cool games coming to the show. Plus, make sure you don't miss our interview with the creator and possibly publisher the week of Thanksgiving, or search for On Point on our website, GamerLeafGo.com, after Thanksgiving week. Horror weighs on the little village of Gloombury. Werewolves have infiltrated the village community when the moon increases. The fear of the villagers increases also, because at full moon the battle for the place of Leader Wolf is fought. Be aware, because nobody is safe. No more. Sound familiar to you? Didn't to me either. But before we tell you what game this story is tied to, let's talk about your dreams, shall we? You've always wanted to become a werewolf ever since you saw Teen Wolf 1 starring Michael J. Fox and the cartoon, right? I hear ya. I have that dream as well. Too bad that's not practical, because he really killed it on the basketball court as well as in life once he was able to do just that. Well, seeing how you're here listening to Getting Geeky with Game Relief still, I know you love your tabletop board games. What if I told you someone made a game to help make this dream of ours a reality? Well, it's out there, and better yet, is that you can help it become a reality. Good guess. It is on Kickstarter. How'd you know? It's called Beware. That's spelled with an E instead of an A. But in case you don't remember, just click the link in our show notes and it'll get you there. This is a card game for people who always wanted to be a werewolf and transform a village into their pack. Piebald Board Games had this to say about Beware. Beware is a lot of fun for us. We find the implementation of the werewolf theme very successful, playing out the various actions of the villagers, and thus thwarting the plan of one of the other players is a lot of fun and sometimes generates a narrow victory or defeat. Beware, just so you know, is a short and entertaining card game for 2 to 5 players. The game is played in several rounds. A round ends when the cards on the table or playing field form a full moon. Then the players transform into werewolves and try to increase their pack by biting as many villagers as possible. But be careful, you don't want to bite your victims to death. Also be aware of silver bullets. Whoever has the most combinations of bite and villager cards gets the most points. It'll be on Kickstarter through Saturday the 30th of November. But while we're chatting about dreams, you've always wanted to be immortalized in a game, right? Well, what if I told you we've teamed up with them to give one lucky listener just that? How might you might ask? Well, you've heard of our site called thegiveawaygeek.com, haven't you? Well, they're bringing you an awesome prize. That's right, one winner will win one copy of the basic Beware game along with the extension pack, a backer's extension pack to be exact. And also, one villager card will be customized. The winner can have their photo redrawn by the artist. So one of the villagers will look like one of our fans. Hot dog! Want to win? Well, what are you waiting for? Go to thegiveawaygeek.com and enter right now. While there, it'll direct you to their Kickstarter page, which will get you an entry into the giveaway just for looking at it. That, or you can just use the link in our show notes. Regardless of whether or not you enter the giveaway, make sure to back Beware before November 30th. Tell them Game Relief sent you in the comments on the Kickstarter page. Hey, I know you're thankful for Getting Geeky with Game Relief, so do us a favor. Drop us a rating and review over iTunes or your favorite podcast catcher. This helps more people find Getting Geeky with Game Relief, which will help more people find The Giveaway Geek, which will help us bring you more awesome content on our podcast and giveaways for you to win cool games. And because we don't necessarily eat turkey on Thanksgiving Day, this gives us something else to be thankful for. You, the fans. If you liked any of the games we talked about in today's episode, make sure you check out their Kickstarter campaigns to show them and us a little love. Backing them goes a long way. Plus, make sure to stay up to date on all the giveaways we're doing over at thegiveawaygeek.com. There will be at least 2 to 3 new giveaways going live over there next week. It's our least favorite time as well as yours. So until next episode, make sure you go ahead and get geeky, stay geeky, and bring others in the geek fold by sharing our episodes with others, as well as keeping up with the giveaways we're doing over at thegiveawaygeek.com. Game Relief out.
Gamer Leaf levels up. Tune in next week to see if Gamer Leaf's luck holds up.